people are going to need to start retaining GLP-1 attorneys and start pushing the Affordable Care Act. You feel me? Y'all got to start hitting these people at their own game. Because let me tell you something right now. These companies, these insurance companies, these folks, they're not playing checkers. They're playing chess. You better get with it. What up, y'all? It's your girl, Jasmine Nicole, and welcome to Weight with Jazz, a safe space for the obese, the overweight, those who want to lose weight, and myself to share our weight journeys and a little bit of my life too. So, let's get in it. There is some groundbreaking GLP-1 news, okay? New rules. Groundbreaking GLP-1 new rules. Okay, so let's get into it. So letters have been sent out, I believe by Blue Cross Blue Shield, which is one of my insurance providers, with very detailed and strict particulars in regards to the approval process, the prior authorization process, the accessibilities and eligibility requirements to get these GLP-1 medications. Now keep in mind, these new rules apply to certain insurance companies, not all, and they apply to certain GLP-1 medications. But let's just get into the core. Shout out to Dave on the pen, who keeps folks up to date with creatine news, okay? Including myself, straight up. He lives some great content. If you don't follow him, go follow him. He's a good source, absolutely, and a good guy. So let's get a little bit into these new rules. Y'all, like I said previously, I just had a prediction and an inclination that there's some new legislation, some bureaucratic loopholes that are being created in the form of red tape to make this accessibility of the GLP-1 medication less accessible. The process was going to become difficult, and here we are. The process is becoming difficult. So the new rules and modifications, let's just start with one. This is what the information I've gathered so far. Feel free to drop any new information or corrective information in the description box, in the comments below. We're all here to engage and provide information to each other as accurate as possible. We all have info, so let's share. New rules, BMI no longer can just be 30, no longer can be 27. According to what's outlined in this letter that was sent out, the BMI now is 35. So the BMI requirement for GLP-1 medications is 35. Next. All prior authorizations are set to expire July 31st of 2024. And this includes prior authorizations that were overturned upon appeal. So that pretty much means the appeal is really no longer valid. So it sounds like they didn't put a statute of limitations on the appeal process for GLP-1 medications. My God. Okay, look, this is my lane. Law is my lane. Like, so right here is, we really getting into it. They really trying it. And I don't know if this is going to last long, because what has been set so far is, and what I'm about to further share with you guys, is conflicting and contradicting in ways from the rules that were initially set. So there's argument to be made all up in here. Okay, this is just a lash out, to me, an irrational lash out from insurance companies, and in hoping that their extraneous limitations are going to save them money and not cause further litigating issues. Okay, let's get into it again. All right, where we at? Effective August 1st, 2024, all prescriptions must be newly given by a physician, by a doctor, as a result of an in-person visit. So you can't just get a script via telehealth. Now, this is what this is saying. Excuse me. Oh, Lord. This is what this is saying, according to Blue Cross, Blue Shield, and other insurance companies. And to be honest with you, this is like similar legislation moves that occur state by state. One state adopts something as a pilot, and then they see how it happened, what the results produce. Does it solve whatever the issue was? And if it does, then other states will adopt similar policies. So you'll start seeing other states align with what this insurance company and other insurance companies are pushing. So this is really going to be a harness on the telehealth industry, right? Your results have to be in person. There's no more, y'all know, it's no more virtual related data that they want. They want in-person data, stuff that is documented by the physician on paper and chart work, and that stuff to be sent over for any prior authorizations. And this was done in the beginning, honestly, in a sense, when I was going through my mix-up with Zepbound approval. Y'all remember that? My early videos, okay? Initially, I was on Zepbound. I was trying to get further approved and just could not get approved because of similar limitations that now are being listed as like the grand all, end all, be all. But this was really already in place because my insurance falls under the umbrella of Blue Cross Blue Shield. They were already giving me these issues that now are being broadcasted as major, definite changes. That I was already prompted to have to complete step 2. You need to have an in-person visit with your physician so they can get your weight. You have to document what progress you have made. All that was already like verbalized to me, and I was just like, in addition to suggestion of the STEP program, which includes drugs that cause heart palpitations and so forth, that weren't well for people who have experienced cardiovascular issues, such as myself. So, but ironically, within this new update of GLP-1 rules and limitations, no phentermine or STEP programs that include the suggestive use of phentermine and any other weight loss medication before getting said approved brand named GLP-1 medications such as Ozempic, Wegovy, Zepbound, Mounjaro, etc. I think it's something going on with Mounjaro. I think some GLP medications don't fall underneath these requirements. I think Mounjaro might be one of them. So this may not apply to Mounjaro, but that's it. Y'all, let me know, double check. This is what I'm hearing. Let's get deeper into it. You must be 18. You must be 18 for GLP-1 medication. Now this is conflicting because Saxenda was approved way back when for adolescents, I believe at the age of 14. It's for adolescent youth. So if that was already approved, how are you coming in saying you must be 18? That's a fight right there. Where's the rationale for that to change? This is not a new rule. This is a modification of already existing requirements, something that was already in place. That's an issue. Let's go down the list again. As I said, patient must enroll and participate in the insurance company's weight management program for 6 months. And within that participation, food logs need to be provided. exercise documentation, you know, evidence of you exercising, letting them know that you are putting that effort in. Notes, and possibly nutritionist check-in, counseling or consulting sessions. All that falls in the line of this. Now, this is a weight management program. It has to be that insurance company's weight management program. I feel like that's kind of conflicting, because if that weight management program if it includes a step program, that means you would have to get prescribed phentermine, Contrave, or some other type of weight loss pill and show that you have failed on that with data as evidence to even get approved. But based on these requirements, which I really need a little more, you know, elaborately detailed, because if that's the case, there's a point here where some companies are saying you no longer can be on phentermine. So if you were on phentermine, this disqualifies you at that time for eligibility for GLP-1. You would have to wait a third 30 days. So really, y'all told people and was pushing this narrative on getting step program assistance, which was the option of taking other weight loss drugs that are super cheaper in pill form, because you don't want to pay the actual price of from $1,000 to $1,100 to $1,300 for these other branded GLP-1 medications. So now those who did comply and went to their physician and got a prescription for phentermine, got a prescription for the next on the list, got a prescription for another on the list, to try it, to cross all T's and dot all I's. They thought they could do it because this is what was instructed. Now, things are changing. Now, because you had that phentermine, you're disqualified. Because that no longer applies. You would think that would be a relief, right? Because I was frustrated as to why was I put through that issue of having to go through that step, especially after I made it clear. I explained the rationale as to why it does not work for my body, and so did my physician. Yet my insurance company, Blue Cross Blue Shield, okay, wasn't having it. It wasn't acceptable. Which is why I went to compound medication, terzepatide, because I don't have time. You see, 12 weeks that went on by. Had I been 12 weeks waiting on trying to battle this and not have medication, I would not be at my level of progress that I am at now. I'm progressive. When one door shuts, there is another door that opens, and that is the compound door. And what all this is happening is creating, I predict this is going to create a stock increase on compound GLP-1 compound medication as a result of the new rules. Because these rules are causing from what I'm reading, extreme limitations to brand GLP-1 and GIP medication accessibility. They're making very hard, folks, very hard to get this medication. And like I said, it's not all insurance companies, but it can be soon. Like I said, the legislation works. I'm telling you, these moves start with one state, one company, whatever. It starts in one state, and you see how the results are from the pilot, and then it transitions in other states picking it up. So be on the watch. This stuff is constantly changing. I mean, it's so intriguing and can be very frustrating as well. But I want to make sure I am up on this information. I want to be up on information for myself, and I want to be able to give y'all a thorough enough breakdown of logic on, up and coming creatine, GLP-1, GIP, the GIP news. because it's constant. There are constant changes, and also new GLP1 and GIP medications hitting the market that are currently in testing, i.e. retatrutide. There's another one too. Forgot, but I will be bringing that up at another time. What y'all think about this? Oh, I'm not done. We talked about must be 18. So that counters Saxenda for the adolescent. Y'all bringing them in here. Y'all know they need it. Y'all know the level and the data that is flowing around for adolescent obesity. And that's one of the hardest segments in the population to deal with. To have to, you know, working with weight loss with adolescent youth is extremely difficult. So the GLP-1 medication is definitely helpful. And now y'all want to cut that? Must be 18. Not cut it, but they just want to increase the age. Well, then 18, you're no longer adolescent. So then y'all need to change that Saxenda is not for adolescent. But this was already done, I believe, in 2014. You can't just go and ratify that without real grounds. And I don't know, what are the valid grounds for validating this? No. Lab verification to validate diabetes. You must have lab verification to verify or validate your current AC1 levels, your current diabetic status. So what this is telling me is that if you are no longer in diabetic status, that it's likely that if this falls under one of your insurance companies that's pushing these limitations and it's applying to the specific GLP-1 medication that you're on, then this tells me that a person with diabetes who had diabetes and no longer showing, I guess, that in the lab work will not continue to get this medication as maintenance. Next, lab verification to validate other weight-related comorbidities. So other weight-related conditions. Lymphedema, that can be weight-related, although there's controversy to that. It's still swelling in the body, and it's hard for me to believe that any amount of weight loss won't reduce some of that swelling. I just think, just scientifically, even not all, it will definitely help reduce some of the swelling. So if you have evidence of that, I guess it's no longer valid. It doesn't matter. It may not matter. From what I'm reading, it may not matter. What matters is show the lab verification, but still show that lab verification for your comorbidities. I don't care what is being said. Do you know the beauty of law is adversarial? You got one side coming here claiming that this is what the limitations are going to be. You need to have somebody on the other side coming and countering, okay? What I'm learning is that with this whole situation of foolishness, because that's what I'm calling it, utter bureaucratic foolishness. This has opened up a whole nother industry a legal industry for GLP-1 attorneys. Where y'all at? Where are the GLP-1 attorneys? Where are the folks working for Klein Inspector, who are medical doctors and esquires and attorneys, okay? Hitting you full force. Where are the people, come on now, with the medical knowledge, let's bring it in, and also have a law degree, because this is a whole nother lane. People are gonna need to start retaining GLP-1 attorneys and start pushing the Affordable Care Act. You feel me? Y'all gotta start hitting these people at their own game. Because let me tell you something right now. These companies, these insurance companies, these folks, they're not playing checkers. They're playing chess. You better get with it. Get with it with your your advocating process, your method, whatever, however you're gonna come at it, and you need to get your medication, counter this. Counter what has been released through letter. Counter it legally, if you can. Because shout. That was my Taco Bell about to fly away. The devil is a liar. Look, and it got me pissed. And it got me pissed, y'all. I really, because this is wrong to me on so many levels. It's unjust. This is why we need more people in law. This is just why you need people to be fighters, legal fighters. Just period. Like this is unacceptable. And I mean, on such a large population of people who really need this medication and can provide the information that you're requiring. So what you gonna do when people start providing this? All of a sudden, everybody gets in sync and start providing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Well, what you gonna do? Is it gonna be something else that you're gonna throw in that's gonna cause a denial, a hurdle, a limitation, a halt, something else you gotta do that was not outlined in the new guidelines? They're playing games. They're playing games. Don't let it play with you. Be calm. Be calm. Woosah. Woosah. It's gonna get under control. Best believe. Because even if they want to keep playing games, what they don't realize, they cutting Eli Lilly short, and they cutting Nova Nordisk short. So they sitting there thinking about, look, how we gonna get this done? Because I mean, I know people are buying it full price because you have the celebrity market, that demographic, where people are paying full price for it, with or without the Eli Lilly savings card or the Nova Nordisk savings card. Okay, people are paying for it, but really, they want to look at the standard community, the middle class community, who can't afford to pay the full price for that medication. It's realistic that they can more than likely maybe pay a quarter of half of it, which is why a lot of people are on GLP-1 compounds at paying $379, $4, like that. This is still cutting drastically into their revenue. They're still losing. Their quarterly sales are going to go down. It's still, and they know it. So I'm interested to see what are they going to do to try to combat this. What statement is Eli Lilly going to release, if one? A statement Nova Nordisk is going to release, if one? Because from what I'm seeing, sweetie, you got able-bodied folk that's able to fit in budget compounding at micro dosing, split dosing levels, and low dosing levels. Nobody gonna have time for this anymore. And the compounds are going to be what it is. So resolution is, I mean, you want to keep pushing it, guys. Push it. You can follow the new list of rules, counter it, contact your primary physician, and keep trying to push out, your prior authorizations. But just keep in mind, anything that was done, before July 31st, is no longer going to apply July 31st. So if you think you had a date beyond July 31st of an expiration for your authorization, your prior authorization, that is not the case. That expires. All prior authorizations expire July 31st of 2024. I mean, y'all, I encourage, get what you can get out of this medication while you can. I mean, specifically out of the brand medication, because they are making it very hard. And the more progress you actually make on this brand medication, the more likely you will be disqualified for further prescriptions, such as maintenance prescriptions. So this is just pushing the brand GLP-1, some of the brand GLP-1 population, right into the hands of the compound population. There has to be something in place. So I'm grateful for the compound industry, because them physicians, those doctors, they understand what's going on. And they know that this is not just a money play, although this is business. It does create revenue. I mean, yes. But they also know that it is a strong moral need to treat the ill who are obese. I strongly believe that, working in the compound industry. And they're going to fight to keep that open. And it is going to be open. If anything, it'll be what? Eli Lilly versus compound. I don't think they'd even have, in my opinion, the power, the power to even shut that down. That's an FDA move. Eli Lilly is not FDA. Okay? And nor is Nova Nordis or anyone else coming into the industry. So take that for what you will, guys. It's so much changing. Don't get set on and relaxed on what you think is going to be around. Because what I do know is going to be around, I strongly believe is going to be around, are GLP-1 compound medications. I'm going to tell you, get you some. I'm going to get at y'all the next video. Be real, boo.